Well, hello everybody. This is me with my brand new Elka Stage 4 rear shock. This is not really a how-to video on the rear shock. There's a lot of good sites out there to show you how to do it. But this is just to show you what the shock looks like. The installation is a snap. You follow the instructions right there. They're well illustrated, well described instructions that they send with the shock. And believe me, it goes in. It's one of the simplest things I've ever done, putting in that shock. I know a lot of people made a big deal out of it. It's literally simplest thing to do. That little bracket right there that holds the reservoir, that turned out to be kind of an interesting issue, and I'll address it here in a few minutes. But right now I want to show you, I put the Ryker up, got the front wheels on some ramps, and then I've got a couple of jacks underneath the bars that hold the road pegs, foot pegs, and got it sitting up well up off the ground. What you want to do is you want to have that thing sitting up a good long ways so that you can drop that rear wheel down as far as it'll drop when you loosen up the OEM shock and to take it out of there. And here's a good look at the OEM shock. I mean, it's anybody that owns a Ryker has seen this a million times. Every time you look at your bike, you see it. But sitting in there, and you're going to see there's not a lot of difference between it and the brand new one when you put it in. But you get that sitting up off the ground good long distance so that rear assembly can drop down. It makes taking that shock out and putting a new one in a snap. It's the easiest thing in the book. So anyhow, just to show you here that got the stage 3s I put on here a few weeks ago when I got them in, and got them set where I like them. I figured I'd go with the stage 4 on the rear just because it's going to take more of the load, more of a beating, and not as much as the front's going to take. So I went with the heavier duty stage 4 in the back, and so far I've just had an opportunity just for a couple of short test drives on it. Seems to be doing good. Seems to be exactly what I wanted. But they give you plenty to work with here. Plenty of good stuff to work with. And there's just showing us that stage 4, not a stage 3 that I'm putting on the bike. Well, anyhow, follow those instructions. I mean, they're some of the best instructions I've seen for doing this job like this. So follow instructions. You're going to do fine. They could have been a little better in detail about putting that bracket on for the reservoir, but like I said, I'll address that here just real shortly. And I want to show you some of the tools that I ended up using here. Of course, got deep set impact sockets there, and for the impact gun, because spinning off those bolts and stuff, just the impact's the only way to go. Air impact, and I got 12-point regular sockets there because you obviously need those. Torque wrench, another long breaker bar type of wrench, and extension, hammer for beating on stuff because sometimes you just got to do that. Taking the nut off the muffler I had to take and use the hammer to tap the box end wrench around to get that nut off of there. And I got a couple of zip ties sitting there too because you always need a couple of zip ties for something. So got them sitting there handy and ready to use. And then another look at the deep set impact sockets. A must. All metric. Everything's metric on this, so it's all a must to have. So anyhow, now I've got the thing installed. I mean, you could follow instructions. You get in there. It's not a problem. You don't need to watch this video to see that. If you want to watch videos, there's great videos out there for watching to install it. But anyhow, it sits in there. It's nice. It's clean. Looks nice. Fits in there well. Now, the one caveat to the whole thing is, and I'll get over here to the other side and I'll show you, and that's that bracket for that reservoir. What they don't tell you is, if you look at that little piece of body plastic molding above it, you need to kind of pull that thing up out of the way. That's not an easy thing to do. It's pretty tight there. But you pull it up out of the way and you can get that bracket on. Watch where your hose goes so you don't pinch your hose. You really don't want to pinch that hose. And then I'll get back around here to look at that little plastic. Yeah, a little dab of plastic body panel right there. Pull that thing out of the way, and then the lip of that bracket will fit around there, and then you can tighten her down and in. So anyhow, that's just a real short thing on my installation of my Ryker stage or the stage 4 Elka shock on my Ryker rear shock. And I give it the butt test here, and yeah, it isn't squatting her too bad. I've got it on the lowest setting, and I'm weighing in around 220, 225. So yeah, the butt test is just fine. Works fine.